Hey guys, welcome to 1st of February, and it's going to be a nice, beautiful, warmy day this week in West Virginia. It's going to be up to 58 degrees next week, and it's starting to warm up for about this type of week. So, we're going to talk about some of the cheap chainsaws I can usually use instead of trying to work on some of the other ones. But if I was going to be doing firewood cutting all day or 3 days, I'd rather just use that one as a lightweight saw with a 20-inch bar. This is the Extreme Power 82-100 XP, which I found at the yard sale 2 years ago. And it's been running great for me after when the original owner has bought him a brand new steel MS-250 to replace that one. And this is the one I found in my grandfather's garage. In my garage, my grandfather had this new since after a run of the Sailor Master in 2003. It was made in 2002, right before next year of 2003 when they ran out of business on their last run. And there's some different colors of these, which is the gray with a different name on it. And this is the only one, the working ones I'd be able to get. And it's got the easy pull magnesium, just like on the Echo CS 400 chainsaw. You could still get their Echo equipment at Home Depot, which is their very good quality saws, which is their made in Japan. They're all assembled in the USA. Both of these are made in Japan back in the day, in 2001 and 2002, until the last run of these in 2003, right before they were discontinued by Shindala and Echo. Echo and Shindala do make good equipment, but Shindala was the same as the Echo, which is they're made by Echo. And we're going to talk about some of the things I don't like about them and some I like about them. And it's such a nice, beautiful day out, but tomorrow I'm going to go to my dad's job because there's a job he wants me to do for him to smooth out a little bit of pile of dirt for him. There's the PC 490 I ran 2 years ago. It's on the state job. And that's where I'm going to run it at, but I can't put it on YouTube because it's a state public job, which is I can't do that. But I could still film, but I cannot put it on Facebook or YouTube because it's a state job where my dad works with his company right before when I first met him in 2014 when I was about 14 years old. And that was a state job, and last time at my crew's farm, but it is fine for me to upload videos at the other farm, it was safe out there for me to do. But it's not totally safe when you're running a machine and filming because you don't want to put on YouTube something that's legal or illegal, because that's not totally safe because it'll cost about 10 grand to pay a ticket, which is I'm not going to put that on YouTube right by tomorrow. But I'm still be able to film, but I'm still going to film the chainsaws, but I can only film the piece of equipment at the other farm, but not at the state job, but only a job out in the farm only. So that's definitely I can definitely do for y'all. But this is what we're gonna do here. But I don't even have an excavator, which I would definitely have one someday. But unfortunately, it may not happen. But The only thing I like about this thing, because it's got the, I like on this one because it's got an on switch, just like on a Remington and Troy Belt and Craftsman. But it does remind me of this Home Light Little Red XL, just like that kill switch. But it's not a runner, but that thing's dead. I did try my best to get it running, but it's a pain in the butt to get it going. So, yesterday, I fixed the XL's recoil. So now it's definitely fine where I can drop start him real easy without it jerking all over the place. So I put a 12-inch bar on it because I decided to use a 12-inch bar because it's got a sharper chain on it. I'll be ordering another guard for that one, so that I can definitely use it. But they are low RPM saws. Some of them do have a bit more power and some of them do not. And the only thing I like about these saws with old black shields, including pull-on shields, but this one reminds me of that Punglen Pro PR 5020, which is they're exactly the same color, but they're different. But it does not have a primer bulb. It's got an auto prime system on the choke. And I like about this one because this one came with this scratch tool, but it don't have a storage on the bottom like what this one had, just like a Pull-On Pro has. And they do come with files, but I don't use files. But I use electric chain sharpener to get the chain sharpens all the time. But I'm definitely used to electric chain sharpener. But it could run a 22-inch bar, which is I'm keeping on this saw. It's a big quality 62cc saw. But it can pull a 20-inch bar. So I'm going to use a 20-inch bar on the 45cc Extreme Power 82100 instead. Because I like running 20-inch bars onto this thing because it's definitely recommended to run a 16-inch or an 18-inch or 20-inch bar. But I do not have that problem running this thing with a 20-inch bar. I did run an 18-inch Husqvarna bar on that thing before, which I might get a Husqvarna 18-inch bar and an 18-inch chain for this thing. And I might be able to use it as separate attachments for that chainsaw. 20-inch attachment and an 18-inch bar attachment. And this one will only be used as a 22-inch chainsaw with big 22-inch bar on it. And the only thing I like about this one, because it's got that side thing right here where you can see how much gallons of fuel you're running at instead of taking off this cap, just like on my Husqvarna 450E series. It runs an 18-inch bar. It's a 50cc. And they are nice, very good saws, but the mixture for these two are 40-1 mix. I use 50-1 in all my saws, which is it don't even hurt them. It don't even do that bad as the 40-1 or 32-1 or 25-1. But 25-1 is a bit too much oil. I only use 50-1 mix in all my saws and 40-1 and 32-1 in the antique saws. So if you're going to be wondering what bar oil I actually use, I only use cheap, high quality tech, cheap bar and chain oil. Their bar oils are made in USA, and this is a cheap stuff that you can get at Menards. Menards has got some good cheap bar and chain oil. So I recommend you to get cheap bar and chain oil at Menards. And I only use some of the shields on these two when I'm transporting. but not all the time when I'm done cutting. But only sometime when I put them on the shelf, I can put their shields on. But I'm going to use this shield for this saw, because I'm glad this saw I had out of the box that it came with when I first found it. When I found it in my grandfather's garage after when he passed away, but it was my garage now. And I like using the 455 Ranchers shield onto this one because this one's got a 22-inch bar on him. So that's the reason why I'm going to use it for. Onto that saw. But it'll balance down when the shield is on. When you take the shield off, it'll stand right up. So I'm only going to use these as for transporting onto a vehicle or on a truck or on a side-by-side, whatever I need them. But they're very good quality firewood saws, but there's some people that do like them and some people that hate them, which is they're hard starting for them, which is they don't like about these saws. But I do not have that problem with these two because these two always do fire up in one pull. But this chain I used a Husqvarna 20-inch and I removed some of the part of an 18-inch a little bit to make it as a 22-inch chain for this saw. And they both run real good, and they run good. They do run good and cut good, but I just don't even feel like using them every day. But I don't occasionally use it how much. Let me set my phone down where you can watch of them being fired up on first pull. Oh, in case you didn't know, I like wearing this new shirt I had, the Nightmare on Elm Street shirt, because I like watching them movies. They're very good movies the whole time of Freddy Krueger. My favorite ones is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. I like them. I like the Leatherface movies also. This fan always fires up one pull. Always first pull. It always fires up one pull. Every time. Now for the 62 20H. except one pull all the time. I don't even need to put a decompression valve on them. But anyways, they're very good saws, but some people don't like them, which is I don't. I really like this one because it reminds me of that Husqvarna 55 Rancher, which is an older model compared to the Husqvarna 455 Rancher. And they are very good little saws, but they're definitely good used cutters for cutting firewood or cleaning up after a storm, or after if a tree is blocking the way. That's what these things can be used for. But chain brakes do work. Chain brake does work. I don't usually change spark plugs in them, but I only put American spark plugs that are made in America. I use some of their spark plugs as spare spark plugs for the other ones, just in case. If one goes bad in the older saw. But I do recommend to get one of them bar oils. These bar oils are extremely cheap as the other bar oils. Those bar oils are extremely cheap. You can get these at Menards. But if you do want to buy one of these oils, you can get them at your local hardware store and in Menards. Just like I do. But it's such a nice, beautiful day out to be doing chainsaw videos again. But look how nice it is outside. Nice view. Nice, pretty sky out there. Man, it feels so nice out here. Feels pretty nice out here. Just the way I like it. My favorite time of the year, springtime and mowing season. So I transform my Husqvarna back into a blower because I don't think it's worth using it as a vacuum anymore. So I'm just going to use it as a leaf blower instead. But someday I might be able to get a steel leaf blower to go with my steel brush cutter and my steel weed eater and my steel chainsaws. And the steel chainsaws, 2 farm bosses, including the 029 farm boss and a steel MS291 and an 031 AV electronic saw. JT Chainsaw Shop, if you're watching this, I think I do want to make this video for you because I want to definitely show you what can I usually use. I use bigger can for bigger mix of gas, including the other one. And I only use bigger bar and chain oil for all my saws. Bar and chain oil at Menards. They're extremely cheap. I recommend you getting this. And the only tool I use for my Husky 455 Rancher, because it's a lot better than its tool that it came with. This saw right there came with this scratch tool, but it's a lot more better than the Husqvarna's. Or I can use a steel scratch tool for it, but it don't matter. Well, anyways, there's the video comparison. There's a video showing what mix I use for these saws and what saw I like to use. Well, anyways, thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow when I get home from work. I'm only going to be moving a pile of dirt for my dad. And when I get it all done, I'll make another chainsaw video for you again. And I got another video coming for the chainsaw review coming up on this week. So I think I might be able to do a 2 year later review on the Steel MS-291 Farm Boss coming up. And I'll be doing another type of review on the Sidnix 4-stroke chainsaw, which I had from a year ago. Well, anyways, thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe and leave a comment and tell me what you think. And I will see you on the next video. And I also got a cold starting video coming up on after 2 weeks away, which the end of February, right before we move into March, which that'll be very kind of cool. I'll put some of the chainsaws with the trimmers, including that thing, including the blower. So anyways, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Mikey out.